Oh, well, I hope somebody shows up. I don't know. I'm always afraid to do these because I'm afraid nobody's going to show. So, yes, we are live in my office, which is extremely hot. Ooh, very hot. Our AC has been out for a week. So, yeah. So, if you guys are here, say hello. If you got any questions or anything, I even brought a washcloth because it's so warm. So, honestly, today has not been as hot as the last 2 to 3 days have been actually far worse. So, I cleaned up my mess so it doesn't look like I have a messy office. See? Ooh, hello, Thrifted Living. How are you? How are you? I always worry about doing these because even though I have like 12,000 subscribers, there's a part of me that feels like the little kid that invites people to my birthday party and nobody shows. So, yeah. So, I don't know. We can yip yap about a few things. I'm doing well, other than being hot. My AC's been off for, I think, 8 days now, and it's been in the 90s. So, whew, it is hot. We at least have we have one of the rolling AC units. You just put the thing in the window. Yeah, New York, I believe it. It's one of the things where you just put up in the window. So we have one in our bedroom and one in our kitchen. So at least we can sleep in the AC. But the age of our house, we actually have a fuse box, if you can believe that. So a few fuses have popped. Not real fun, but not gonna complain. Not gonna complain because it's not gonna do any good. So yeah. So I went out and bummed around a little bit today since today is my birthday. Big 5'7". I was. Thank you, luxury handbag cheapskate. Thank you, 57. I had a commenter on my videos that has not been getting very kind here recently. And my last week's weigh-in was said, "Oh my God, you look so old." So I don't block people very often, but this person has been getting progressively worse. So I think I timed him out or I blocked him. I think I might have timed him out. So you gotta go sit in the corner, put your nose in the corner and think about what you did. So, what's up with you guys? So I'm hoping to help be up for, I think, in an hour. I don't know if I can go past 8. I'm just going to be so hot. So, yeah. So I didn't really hit a thrift store today. I went to a lot of our all the big lots were closing, but there's one in a town not too far away that actually reopened. So I happened to go by there, and it was sad. It was sad. It just had a little bit of everything, and it wasn't anything like it was before. So, and I don't live real super close to one. We have one that's closer to our house, but that one didn't reopen. So, don't know. But yeah, so I went in there, and I went into a place called Ollie's. Oh, Texas! I can't even imagine how hot it is in Texas. But it's just so humid here. That's what makes it so much worse. Thrift living. I really enjoy your videos. Aw, good. Yeah, my husband often tells me I could like chat and talk for an hour to a brick wall, which, yeah, that's pretty much me. When I was a kid, my dad used to call me motor mouth because I was talking. Well, when you're the last of 5 kids, you have to speak up or you just don't get heard. Oh, do you go to any Amazon bin type stores anymore? I haven't in a while. It's like they've popped up everywhere. Because when I first started going, people were like, wow, what's that? Or where are you going? And now they're everywhere. I think there's more on the west side of Cleveland. I really should make an effort to get over there. It's kind of over in the direction that my daughter lives. It's like on the way to her place. So yeah, I might get back to doing that. I don't know. It's kind of like going to the bins. You kind of have to be in the mood to dig. Sometimes you go and it's like, if you don't feel like digging, it's just not worth going. And I know I haven't been to the bins this week either, but they don't have AC either. They have these huge fans, hanging up. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. I am working at my. I'm going to be working at my store on Friday. I have to do two working days a month, and that's part of my. I pay rent and I work 2 days. So yeah, I did have an opportunity. I haven't said anything on the channel yet because I just learned about this recently that we have a booth that's really close to the front of the store that they're trying to find someone to fill, and a lot of people want it. So I put my hat in the ring, and there's part of me that's like, I hope I get it, and then another part of me that's like, I hope I don't get it. One of those things. My booth now is 10 foot wide by 10 foot deep. And this one is basically the same size, but it has like a corner cut off. So it's considered like a 3/4. Because when they set up the store, they had to set it up in such a way that there's a couple of booths that are kind of wonky sizes. So I don't know. I think I would probably have to work like a day. Skid City, man. I know who that is. Anybody else know who that is? That is Mr. Pudgy Picker. He told me he would pop in. So behave. Better behave. He's kind of wild sometimes. My son calls him chaotic, and it's a very... Yeah, no, it's not. Okay. You're my boyfriend, and how about that? So between me and the hubby, we are about had it up to here with the whole weather thing. I even went out and I laid out in the sun today. I'm really browning up. But I go out and I do like 25 minutes on each side. But oh my goodness, it was so hot today. So I don't even let the dog stay out there with me the entire time because it's just too hot. It's just too hot. So if you guys got any questions or anything, please. I did put something on my desk. I've been looking around because I had a whole bunch of recipe cards. So I got these a while ago, and these are actually all drink cards. And then I found this, I believe, at the bins. Put that in there for now. I love the old recipe boxes. So I just put those in here. And I think I put 15 on this. So, yeah. So I think I put 15 on this one. 16. Do you have any favorite thrift store finds? It's funny now that I kind of shop for more things. There are times when I am looking for specific things, and then other times I just kind of find what I find. I didn't find you at a thrift store. Would have cost me less money. Favorite thrift store find. A lot of different things. I think when people sell either on eBay or in a physical space, they have a lot of things that they're constantly looking for. There's a few booths in our mall that are very niche, I guess you could say. Like one is all primitives, it's a particular style. And I don't really like to do that because I think it really limits who's going to shop in your space. Because a lot of people may go by and think, that's not really things I like, so I'm just not going to bother. So I guess I could be like all other resellers and say, yeah, anything I find cheap and I can resell it for a lot of money. But yeah, and I haven't even been going to Savers on Mondays. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of things here in my office and get a lot of things pushed out. And I could tell you this week has been not much work getting done at all. I come in here like after dark for like an hour or so, but it's still really, really hot. So it's just, so maybe I'll go to the bins tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. So I'm working at my store on Friday, and then tomorrow I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have to get some. I did make some more lucky bamboo plants. So I got those whipped up, and those are ready to go out. I did not get my my weight video up today because I was running around. So I will be getting that put up tomorrow. But I'll tell you, I'll give you a sneak peek. I lost a pound. So yeah, I think I'm at 208.2, inching ever closer. So next week will be a year that I've been on the GLP-1, which is like, it's crazy that that's gone so fast. I drink a lot of water with dinner, so I'm having a Diet Pepsi. Whew. I do need to get my hair cut. It's getting really, remember the old cartoons, The Heat Miser, around Christmas time? That's what I'm feeling like. So yeah, so you guys finding anything good at the thrift store? Have you found any good garage sale hauls? Garage sales have been pretty sadly lacking around here. I was hoping that it would be better this year, but I've concentrated on hitting a few rummage sales. But I don't know. There's always a plethora of stuff that's circulating, so I don't worry too much about not finding anything. But I'd like to get back to the bin store. And what else? Been any garage sales this year. I hope to find some soon. I know. I think it's been bad since the pandemic. I think a lot of people just got used to like not having a garage sale. And when it's hot and you're thinking about getting stuff ready to, it's so much work. It is a lot of work. So, but I do appreciate the people who have them. So I know there's a couple of neighborhood sales coming up later in the year. There's one that's not too far from us. And I'll probably be doing that. I haven't even, some of you may or may not know, I dumpster dive occasionally. I haven't even done that in forever. It's been kind of busy. Have you never been to a Goodwill bin, or you haven't been recently? Do you have any near you? You can always Google it. I always hate when I find one when I'm traveling before I had one here. Because I would go and I'd be like, oh, I wanted to get all this stuff. But it's like, sending it home or putting it in my suitcase, it just doesn't. Yeah, if you've never been to a Goodwill bins, it's nothing like a thrift store. It's totally different. It has a lot of rules, and even individual places have different rules. Oh, you've never been? Yeah. You know what? I find that people either love the Goodwill bins or they hate them. There's really no in between. I haven't been recently. I usually make videos on what I find nice. I tell you, I find so many good things there, and especially since I've been doing my mystery bags. In fact, I have a huge bag in here. I need to make some more, but I'm probably going to do that in the kitchen where there's actually some AC. So, yeah, and I also started I always end up finding one or two, at least one or two weird things. So I've been doing separate little clips of those and putting them aside. And then I'm going to do, once I get about probably 10 to 15 minutes worth of that, I'm probably going to have to do a voiceover because the music is so loud in there. But I'm going to show you some of those weird things that I found. Because most of them are like, oh, that's really weird, but I'm not going to buy it. So if you like the items I find from my mystery bags, I love looking for those. In fact, I don't even think I would really have that big of a reason to go into the Goodwill bins if I wasn't. I still find lots of good things. In my last bin haul, I had those the little teddy bears. What are they called? We little bears or something, all with the price tags. Those are going to go for a pretty penny. I was very happy to find those. I found them with tags. I found a few, and I was like, oh, I could probably fill those in a mystery bag. And then I find more and more and more. I think I found 23 total. So I think I'm divvying those up. One is like, one is animals they're dressed as. Another one is professions, like a firefighter and a police officer and a chef and a nurse. So yeah, so I'm gonna be selling those in lots, but I gotta wait until I get some AC back. I can't be in here for very long. In fact, there was a teeny tiny little part of me that was thinking, maybe I should postpone this live, but I'm like, no. I already set it up. I'll be here. I'll be here. So yeah. So I went out. I was gonna get my hair cut. I usually cut my own hair. Look at it. It's like, woo! Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I usually cut it myself, but once in a while I like to go and have someone cut it and kind of get it. It's looking so like out of control. I don't know. Thinking about cutting it even a little bit shorter than I normally do just because it's so hot. So yeah. I'm gonna do. I think after this, I'm gonna do a quick video for my weight loss, and then get that put up tomorrow at 3. I don't have anything for Friday because I really haven't been out since our AC's been out. I've just been like, just not really interested. But I did find these. These are so good. I bought 2 bags of these. They're very good for my tummy, for my stomach, with my GLP. So I have a doctor's appointment Friday with the shot doctor. I actually set up 2 previous appointments, and I clicked on it and nothing happened. I'm glad you hear my Goodwill bins. They require gloves. Really? I wear gloves, but it's kind of hard because you have to buy the gloves that you can still pick up little things with. No AC yet. I know. On my phone, according to my phone, it is 82, but it feels like 88. And that's actually better than it's been. So, Southwest Ohio. So, you're what, down by Cincinnati? Yeah, we're waiting. Our landlord, between him and my hubby, are trying to figure it out. So, hopefully in the next week. I know it's supposed to be in the high 70s. I said it's gonna feel like fall out there. Yeah, Goodwill bins require. Oh, and you can't film. I've never asked. I just kind of do it. But I think people are so busy in there, and there are people. And they don't allow kids. People bring their dogs into ours, and there's kids, but there's not a lot of kids running around or anything. I think kids get kind of bored there because, it's not like a regular thrift store. It's like, oh, go over to the kids section. Not that I ever did that, to go to the, have your kids go play in the kiddie toys. 60 miles east of Columbus. Okay. Yeah, neat. So we're all Buckeyes here. Well, Marcia's Buckeye. Yeah, see if they don't wear gloves. I wondered, what kind of gloves do they give you? Do they give you like the kind your doctor uses? because mine are they're like just regular like mesh, and then they have like they're dipped into the plastic rubber coating, and those are perfect. Those are perfect because it's enough where you won't cut yourself, but it's still you're dexterous enough to pick up little things. Because if I see little stuff in the bottom, and I love to dig to the bottom, so yeah, um, it's nice because even if you get like thicker gloves or whatever, or even like garden gloves, I mean they're fabric. I don't know. And whenever I see a knife or anything broken, I always take it out and I like put it underneath the bin because I don't want anybody else to get cut. I see a lot of people who don't don't wear them. Another thing they do in ours is you have the different lines. So you'll have one line of bins that's clothing, one line of bins that's just knickknacks, this and that, and they replace two of those at a time. So there's an aisle that has clothes on one side and then the hard goods. And then that aisle, when they call and tell you can go into the aisle, you're not allowed to take your cart there for the first few minutes because people were like running over each other. It was crazy, and they were running and they were falling down, and it was a mess. Um, so if you're by Columbus, well, you're like an hour. Would you say an hour from Columbus? Do you ever go to the Akron and Canton bins? They're probably the closest ones to you. I know one is bigger than the other. One is attached to a store, and the other one's bigger, but it's not attached to a store. But um, Goodwill here was half price yesterday. There's a bins, and I plan to go soon. Good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, they don't have AC. They just have big fans. So I don't know. Good way to sweat. I haven't been eating as much. That's a good thing. And I've been drinking all my water because hot. Luxury handbag cheapskate. They give you cheap and ones. I have the rubber coated ones only because I found them there. Yeah, I'm always finding them too. Yeah, see, ours don't do that anymore. They used to do, they would do like this color tag is 99 cents and this color tag is half off. And the next week the half off would be the 99 cent, but they don't even do that anymore. They started doing this thing where it's like, oh, if you spend 30, we'll give you 5 off. If you spend 40, we'll give you $7 off. It's minuscule. It's just not even. I mean, I have several Goodwills around me, and the regular stores I just don't go into that much. And I'd say probably 30% of the stuff that I find in the bins, the Goodwill bins, have a price tag on it. So they were at a store at one point. So don't know. But I'm always finding a lot of good little things to go there. Yeah, my Nest doesn't do half price. And then we have different ones that are affiliated with different areas. Like one is they're out of Columbus, or another one they're out of Cleveland. So they kind of make their own rules. In fact, it's been a while since I've been in, so I'm even wondering if they even do the, spend this, get this amount off. This Tuesday of the month is half price. Our we do have it's a veterans one that we're starting to get some of those in the area. There's a lot of them south, and the last Tuesday of every month they do half price. Um, it's not that far from my house, and it's not that far from my store either. So, yeah, because our prices are okay. I know I initially went when they first opened. Veterans, what is it? Ohio Veterans something, Veterans Thrift. Gosh, I can't even remember. But yeah, so actually that would have been yesterday. Missed it. By the time I think of it, it's usually the day after. So yeah. So so yeah. So after this, I'm going to do a quick video for my weight loss, and I'll get that. Let's see. One thing to keep an eye out for is vintage 90s or 2000s Coach bags. A lot of people are buying them now. I think 4 vintage Coach bags. I've been watching a guy on YouTube. He does a lot of shorts of like getting them fixed up to resell them. And I kind of use some real good leather stuff on them. So I might end up taking those out to my store. But I'm probably going to have to do something to keep those safe from walking out the door. Like, I don't know, maybe zip tie them or something. So, but these have probably, I would say, from probably the 70s or 80s. I don't know. It's one of the things I do is when I find something and I kind of don't know what to do with it, sometimes I just kind of push it aside and I can't do that. I have to like try and figure it out and then, make a decision and get it out there. So I did mention that there is a chance that I might get another space at my mall. They're supposed to make the decision this week. It is a 3/4 space. It's right up front, right by the registers. It's very, very, very good visibility. It's actually on the same aisle as the one I do now. So it's like 3 down and across the aisle. So we'll see. So I'm thinking that if I do get that space, I may not do my store on eBay for a while and just kind of, funnel things through the booths and kind of get them moved out. So we'll see. I don't know. I kind of feel on the fence. I don't really feel prepared if I were offered it, but I mean, I could figure it out. I mean, I've only been doing this for, literally like over 25 years I've been doing this. Because I've been at this September, it'll be 10 years I've been at my current mall. And then the one before that, I was there 17 and a half years. Can't believe it. So yeah. I don't know. Do I have anything to show you? I got some, I don't know where I put that bag. Oh, I have a big bag from the bins. I found a big bag of kazoos. We bought them at a store at one point and decided to gift them out. We were putting our little stickers with our store name on them. So yeah, maybe tomorrow or Friday, hopefully I'll know if I get the space or not. A lot of people, they even decided, usually if somebody in our mall wants another space, they will decide whether that person should get another space depending on how the one they have has been going. And then they'll go ahead and, offer it. We have a lot of people coming in from the outside. We had a lot of people that started with the mall and they're just getting to an age where they're just like, I'm just done. I'm just done with it. It's a lot of work. So, yeah, so I get that. And so we've been bringing in a lot of new people, but the manager told me, he's like, we're definitely not going to bring anybody off the street for this. This is going to be an inside. We're going to be asking another vendor to do that. So, I don't know. I've been kind of keeping my eyes open for some shelving. So basically the shape of the booth is it has a 10-foot wall on one side and then like a 2-foot wall on this side. And then it's, of course, 10 feet wide. And then, like I said, it's got like just a little corner cut off. So the person that was there before had a locked glass case up front. And they decided, I'm friends with the person who actually is leaving that space. They have their own store. They had another store that they were in a different city. They were in our mall, and they also go down to like Texas and Southern Ohio, where they literally have a big truck they fill up and go there and just set it up under a tent. And they've been doing that, her and her business partner, for years and years. And I can't imagine how much work that takes. The idea of lugging stuff and then unloading it. setting it up and staging it and then reloading it back up and dragging it all home. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. And the idea of moving anything in this heat is just like, no thanks, rather not. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Whew. Hot, 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 hot. So, yeah, I'm getting a tan. Try not to flash you. So the mister took me out for dinner. We went to a Turkish restaurant that we really, really, really like. So I think I'll probably get my hair cut tomorrow. I don't know. It's looking pretty crazy. You guys got anything else for me? So as soon as I know about that space, I'll let you know. I don't know. I could even make a decision if I was going to buy shelves or something. Even from IKEA, we have an IKEA in Columbus, but that would require putting it together, which is not a lot of fun. I hate putting stuff together. I used to like it, but it's just it's no, I'm not crazy about it. So I have my fan up here going, and then I have a bigger fan here on the floor, and it's just, and my windows open. This one actually gets a breeze, but when it's blowing hot air. Black Squirrel, thank you so much. Thank you. Them out vintage keychains, etc. Something to look for when you're at the Goodwill bins. I find so many keychains. Hope the space works out for me. I'm just so conflicted about it, So I'm thinking no matter what they say, either they'll say no, and I'll go, whew. Or if they say yes, then I'll be like, yay. Oh, great. Now I have to, because I think that one being even more visible, I'm going to have to, stage it. I mean, everything I have is staged really well, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious as to how it'll go. But I think either way I'll be fine. But if I do get it, I am going to be probably closing out my store on eBay. I'll probably keep some things listed, but I just don't think I can keep a full booth, a 3/4 booth, YouTube, and I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. I've been trying to list things also on Marketplace. I don't have anything up there currently. Thank you, Marcia. Do you change the setup of your space often? I try to do it seasonally, and I have my booth is 10 by 10. I have shelves, and then a big shelf in the back, and then shelves on the side, and then I have 2 6-cubby bookcases back to back, and then my spinner with my earrings, and then in the front I have a 25 by 25 metal display with glass shelves that I change out quite often. But I'm always trying to move things around. We do have restocking days, so I am taking things in every week, but as far as really changing the setup or changing out my front display, I try to do that seasonally. I didn't really get it done this spring just because I think we were out of town one time. Black Squirrel, yes. Also keep in mind, we are no longer open on Wednesdays. Management decided to cut Wednesdays. So now we are Thursday through Sunday, 10 to 6. So it used to be Sunday we'd be 12 to 6. But they expanded those hours and then cut Wednesday. Wednesday was a very dead day. And that's usually when I would go up and put my stuff out and straighten up and water my plants and, do all that stuff. So, yeah, if you do come up to this area, please come see me. It's in Wycliffe, Ohio. It's in a little strip mall. And would love to see you. Come see my space. Yeah, and when I do change my my booth out, Thrifted Living, if you go on my channel, I do have a playlist that is booth tours. So you can kind of see from like, even from 10 years ago, showing us going in and setting that booth up. And we used to have more shelving units and then ended up putting actual shelves attached to the wall. Um, so when it came that offer for that booth or the chance at that booth, I was like, I didn't want to move because I wouldn't want to downsize my space. But the idea of even if I moved to a different space that was even in a better spot, I guess, um, I don't know. It's not like I just have shelves that I could just take everything off, move the shelf, and then put everything back on. I have a lot of things mounted, screwed into the wall, all that stuff. With my space being 10 feet deep, the wall is only like 7 feet, so there's a good almost 3 feet space. And I have two slatted shutter doors, and they're mounted to the wall, so I'm able to hang things on either side of those. I just make hooks with like, old wire hangers, and so I can hang up things on there. So I try to use as possible. You're renting the entire space. You want to make sure you go up and make sure you're filling it up, but not filling it up to the point where people don't even want to step into the space because then they're afraid they're gonna, knock something over. Or, I have people with the little push, the rollators or whatever they call them. They can get through my U-shaped booth perfectly fine. So I'm always trying to keep things, pushed away. And I've seen people in wheelchairs can get into my space. But I mean, I want everybody to be able to have access to come in and look. What's the fun of going to an antique mall when you're just sitting in the aisle looking? So, and I don't know, we've had new owners for 5 years, but they're related to the previous owners who are still there to a certain extent. Um, so he's made a real effort to kind of make sure he's vetting people who are coming in and making sure, it isn't just a list and you're like, hey, you're next on the list. There you go, without even knowing what they have, what they're selling, any of that stuff. So, there's always, if you add a space, there's always that, what do you call it? That the added income, but it's also added expense, added time. I'll have to be up there more days working. I mean, there's some people that have several spaces and they actually hire people to work their days. You have to hire another vendor. It's only vendors who work, or their family, their immediate close family. So if I were to do that, my daughter years ago would go and help and work a day for me. Do you do booth-wide sales or markdowns? My husband and I are debating if a sale is a good idea or not. It depends on your pricing structure. When I price stuff, I really try to be fair on my prices. I think people who regularly run sales end up doing well, I'm going to price it here, and then when I run a sale, I'll get kind of what I want. There are people up at our mall that perpetually run sales. And if you always have a sale, in my opinion, then you never have a sale. You know what I mean? Because if you always see a booth on sale and then you see something and it's not on sale, you're like, I'll just wait. So, I mean, if we have like a store-wide event or something where they really encourage everybody to have, so I'll do like 10%, but I really just try and put a fair price out there. I mean, you can always mark things down. You could always have a little area in your booth that you could put a little clearance sign and mark things down that way. But yeah, it's kind of personal choice. But the thing is, you have to have that kind of built into what your pricing is. Otherwise, if I ended up doing 25%, I would lose a lot more money than a lot of other people because they've already priced that in. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, that's kind of a personal choice. I think what's better than running a sale might even be moving things around. That's such a big a big part of it, because there's been times where I've had something in my booth a long time and I keep looking at it and it's like, it's been sitting there forever. I'll move it closer to the front or I'll put it on the opposite side of the booth and it sells. So I don't know if people just aren't, a lot of people just don't walk in and see things, or when people come in, they're just doing this, they're looking. I mean, you have to look, far and wide in my booth because I have stuff on the floor. I have some 2x4s hanging across the top. And I have some little cup hooks screwed in there. So, I mean, I got wind chimes hanging up. I have a fan blowing on them. The cube organizer that I have has my soap display, so it ends up being right at nose level because some people come in and go, wow, something really smells good in here. I'm like, it's the soap right next to you. So, yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if I do get that space, kind of what I want to do with it. I've also toyed with the idea of maybe finding a place that does candles. But anywhere I've looked up till now, it's just the cost. What I would have to ask to make even a little bit of money is just, I don't know. The place that I buy my, what was I going to say? I got distracted. I don't know. It's just, I keep trying to think of different ways and different things to bring in. The soap that I make, I buy from a place in North Carolina, and now they do lotions and sugar scrubs and bath bombs and other stuff. But I haven't really priced that out, so I don't know. I may end up doing that. Black Squirrel, our mall has a rule that nothing should be in a booth for more than a year. Want to get rid of the old and bring in fresh stuff. That's true. And if you have a lot of stuff and you're kind of waiting for those items to sell instead of switching them out, you have a lot of good stuff sitting at home that needs to go out. And if it's a seasonal item, then it's an easy. I'll just take it home, I'll store it away, and then I'll bring it back out. I just hate taking things home. It's funny because we have a saying at our mall that's like, if there's something that isn't selling, you just have to threaten that you're going to take it home and then it'll sell. You're like, if this is still here next week, it's going home, and then it goes. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't know how a mall could keep track of that. I mean, it's funny because with our previous owners, I would tell her some of the things that people come up with, and she'd be like, I don't have time to go through people's booths and see what's been there that long. I don't have time for all that. So I don't know. That would be hard. Unless it would be something super, super like in your face. Oh, wow, gosh, that's been here a while. We had the guy that sells next to me had a Steiff, they do the teddy bears. He had a Steiff life-size giraffe and a life-size zebra. And he had those in the front of his booth, and they took quite a while to sell, but they did. So he also had a bison head up there too. And I always worry because he's about this big around, and he's up there trying to lift things. Yeah. But he has like 5 spaces in our mall. So, yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys in here remember that I used to, I helped start the Antique Booth Talk Facebook group. And gosh, I've been out of that for a couple years now. That got to be mentally exhausting to do that. And people would say, oh, my mall does this or my mall does that. And I'd tell my owner, and she's like, that's crazy. But we have, I think there's 111 spots in our mall. And where I'm at now, my booth is I think there's like 114. My booth is 111. So I'm like right at the tail end where the register is. I think that helps too with people stealing or not stealing, but there's really no way you can stop that, honestly. Black Squirrel, I am superstitious that if I touch an item, then it will say, well, come on over. Put your hands on everything. Yeah, it's funny. I really try and carry a wide variety of items, old and new. We don't have a lot of rules at our mall, and our mall is called Antiques and Uniques. So it's not just antiques. We have, modern, retro, MCM, vintage, anything. So it's kind of nice that we have that. The only thing is, it's super things like you can't have oils and lamps because that's a fire hazard. Basic stuff like that. No porn. So if somebody is selling, really old Playboy magazines or something, they kind of have to put them in a sleeve and put something over the naughty bits. So yeah, even one vendor has. Like art that's nude, and nobody ever really says anything. But I don't know. I don't know. Is it art? Is it porn? See, I don't. I mean, there's several things that I don't sell personally, just because it's it's. I hate to say I have a moral issue with it, but there's a lot of things that I won't sell because I just don't want to mess with things. I don't do any porn. No, no spiritistic things, no tarot cards, no Ouija boards. I don't mess with any of that. Um, just stuff like that. And I know that tarot cards, you can find them quite cheaply. Timu has them, if you can believe it. And there are some people that could, you could probably make good money selling those, but there's just some things I don't mess with. So. Yeah, that's interesting. You're talking about the mall has a rule where you can't have anything that old. I would love to know how they keep track. Are you in a big mall, Black Squirrel, or are you in a smaller space? So yeah, like I said, we have like 114 booths. We have over 100 vendors, and then in the back of our store is a furniture gallery where you're allowed to have a couple of pieces, up to two pieces of furniture, or there's places to hang real large artwork. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like things on the wall do super super well. I don't know. It's like I hang stuff on the wall and then it just hangs out there forever, and then eventually, yeah, fairly big mall. See, our old one was called. They've since changed the name, but it was called the Craft and Antique Co-op, and that one had been there. That one's been there for like 30 years or more. And that one is really big. And it's funny because some people say, well, what's the advantage of being in a bigger mall or a smaller mall? And it's actually a little bit of both, because you think, well, you get a lot of people that comes to the big malls. But where my booth was, people would come in and the natural flow of traffic would take them forever to get to my side. And I think a lot of people would just be like, oh, I'm tired, let's go home. Oh, I'm hungry, let's go eat. Or, oh my gosh, you know what time it is? We've been here this long, we got to go. So I don't think that really helped me a lot. The old mall that I was in a more rural area. They like more uh, craft things to make into crafts. Things that you would just put in your booth and somebody would buy it and then they would decide, oh, I'm going to put this in or put some flowers or I'm going to hang it up. The mall I'm in now, I can get higher prices for my items than I could at the old place, but people don't want pieces parts. If you have, a picture or a vase or something, you need to style it, because a lot of people just want to, well, this is nice, walk home, there, I decorated. They don't want to do all that. So that was a little bit of a change too. They encourage marking down slow sellers. That takes a lot of time though. Yeah, it does. It does. And thankfully, I'm very happy that our mall, since we are closed 3 days a week, every other month or a little bit longer, maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, they will give us what they call a restocking day, and that's where the store is closed. It's only for vendors. So if you're coming in and I want to take this shelf out and mount some, other shelves or do this or do that, and it's a big job. You don't want to do that on the days that you're open, because most people, if you're working in your booth or you got things torn up, they go to walk in and they're like, oh, sorry. And then they keep walking, and that's sales that you just don't get. So, yeah. But also something that we used to have a dedicated space in our mall that people, vendors could donate to. And then that it would go under a special vendor number that would go back to, that money would go to our ad team. So that money would be added on to what portion is collected from each people's rent to advertise. So that I would do that a lot with stuff. But by the time I'm taking something out, I could take it out and just whip it over a fence. I don't care about it anymore. So, but I don't know. It's I get marking things down and all that. Even it's funny because even when I used to have an area, I have a very, very tall, like this much taller than me, big shelving unit that my dad made forever ago, that I painted white, and it's like our main fixture up against the back wall. And I had like the bottom shelf, and then the bottom two shelves I was marking things down. I had my little clearance area. That stuff just sat. I just don't know if people just didn't look or what. I don't know. But I guess being in the malls that I've been in, I'm very happy that I don't have owners or managers that hover, because I don't like that at all. That really bothers me. There's some people that are like, oh yeah, come on over, and what do you think? And should I this or should I? And I'm like, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Don't micromanage. So yeah, I kind of rather do my own thing, honestly. But I'm a very independent sort, and it only gets worse the older I get. So yeah. Can't believe I've been talking for 52 minutes. Holy cow. So make sure you give me a thumbs up on this stream, please. And if you're in the replay gang, as we like to call them, maybe, if you pop in here and you're watching this on the replay, you can go ahead and do a thumbs up. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'll do these, every so often. I talk about doing stuff, and then I just get so busy, and everybody's like, well, you said you're going to do that 6 months ago. It's hard, when you're a one-person operation, and, Black Squirrel, it sounds like, both you and your husband are working together. So, that helps a little bit. But when it comes to my mall here, putting up my own videos or doing any of this stuff, or, selling on local, Facebook, any of that stuff, it's me. It's just me. And I only have so many hours a day. And it's been very difficult to keep up with eBay. So I don't know. I'm not going to ever totally go off of eBay. Even if I don't have a store on there, I'll still have a presence on there of some sort. But it's a lot. Plus, with eBay, you have to have a huge amount of shipping supplies and all the things that go with that, using paper and tape, and, I got a scale, and I got all my bubble wrap, and, all that stuff. That's the beauty of being a reseller, doing your own thing. True. I really do like that I'm able to, do my own thing. And then if I, go on vacation or something, I have some friends at my mall that I'm like, hey, can you don't have to go and like redo anything, but can you just go in and make sure nothing fell over or somebody bought something big and there's a big hole or anything, that kind of thing. What about Whatnot? There's so many different platforms to sell on. I have I don't know if it's Poshmark or what the other one is. My manager, the store manager, he also does. So I don't know. Is Whatnot, is that local? I don't know, it's just so much to keep up with. I even have there's a group in my city that is that's free. So I'm coming across some stuff that, oh, this is more beat up than I thought it was, or I could just redonate this. I'll just throw it on there. Hey, this is what it is, and stick it out on the front porch, and just pick it up. So it's a live auction. I should probably check into that. I know our store is. We've been in the thinking stage for quite some time, but about doing live sales, not live auctions, but live sales, and limiting it at first to just local pickup, and then eventually adding on yeah, you have to ship though. Yeah, okay. Um, I, I could ship things in my sleep. It's not a problem. So that, again, that's why, the business is talking about, um, you know, having a night, maybe like since we're closed on Wednesday, have a Wednesday night, maybe start once a month, maybe eventually go every week of live sales, have everything rang up, ready to go, and then the people can come and pick it up. We have a large following on Facebook, so that would be a very easy thing to get off the ground, with newbies. And that's something we would start advertising and stuff. So they really, I've been asked to kind of be heavily involved in that because, here I am talking myself basically so they're like, oh, you got the perfect personality for that. That would be fine. But they're still kind of ironing out how they're going to do it. And I would need compensation to do that at this point. There's a lot of things I do voluntarily for my store. I am on the ad team. I'm a treasurer on the ad team. I really do help a lot with store events. I was heavily involved with our 10th anniversary we just had in April. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I do for the store, and I think that I know that the manager and the owners have really come to rely on me to do a lot of things. So I enjoy that. I usually do it when I'm already doing things that I'm doing for myself. But as far as taking an evening out, even if it's once a month or anything like that, and doing something for the store in that capacity, um, I would have to be compensated for that. So they're going to decide whether, however they want to do that. There's software that a couple people in our mall are very familiar with. Um, we do we do sales, like if we put up a lot of pictures for Facebook, people will call and say, oh my gosh, I want that, is whatever size it is. Yeah, we'll check. Okay, yeah, it is. They can pay on the phone um, the item, and then they put a sold tag on it, and then they'll come in and get it. So that is something we do offer. Um, so, yeah. Black Squirrel, how many years have you been a dealer? Let's start with eBay. I've been on eBay probably since 2000, 2001. So I've been on eBay for 25 years. And as far as a booth, I've been this September, just a few months away, it'll be 10 years I've been at my current mall. And then I had been previous one that's way closer to PA, to Pennsylvania. That one, I was there 17 and a half years. So that's almost, oh my God, that's a long time. I started when I was 5. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, 27 years, that's a long time. And just, I tell you, you never stop learning. And I'm sure Black Squirrel or any of you who are resellers, you get that. I always tell people, the more I know, the more I know I don't know, because there's always things to look out for. There's always niche, or hey, I found this at a really good price, or you get to be able to spot quality, and that's something I've been able to do. Is I can look at something and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know how much it's worth, but it's quality, and I can tell it's gonna be worth picking up. So yeah. So a lot of different things. And I'm not above stopping on the side of the road. In fact, when me and my husband left dinner, I was going down one street and I'm like, looking for stuff. Because you never know when you see something. It's funny, my kids used to really groan when I do that. I would slow down, just look, they go, Mom, Mom. So, but they're adults now, and either one of them have been known to stop and pick up something on the side of the road. So learn from your mama. Well, we're at an hour. Got any last questions? You can put them in the chat, and then we'll sign off. And then I will go into my kitchen and lay on my linoleum floor. My dogs are all sprawled out because they love the cool floor in there. Yeah, once we get the AC and all this stuff situated, and I have another live stream, I'll bring my doggies in. Let's say hi to my doggies. I know the big one loves everybody, but Tater hates everybody. So I have saved many an AC guy looking at her house by grabbing that little dog. She's like, she's so funny. Well, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. It's a few minutes, well, it's about 8 o'clock. So I tell you, I'm keep an eye on my community tab and my other videos, and I will show you, yes, doggies. Everybody loves the doggies. So I'm so glad that you guys got to come in and yap at me. We'll have to do this again. So I'm thinking I'll think about it next month. This late in the month, maybe we'll do this again. So, and if we're still out of AC, then I'm just going to be like a skeleton in my seat. Whew. So yeah. So thank you very much for tuning in. Leave the thumbs up. Also, click the notification bell, because if you're thinking, oh yeah, I know she's got a live stream coming up, and you do that, and if it bings, you'll say, oh, there it is, I almost forgot. So that's okay. I know I have a lot of lurkers who just like to come in and listen and then scooch, and that's fine. Enjoy your birthday night. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you next time. Like I said, I have my weight loss video tomorrow, and then I don't think I'm going to have anything up Friday, but next week we'll be back to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. And until then, happy picking. Bye.